Hello friends, welcome to the another video of Startup and Recommissioning of KUKA Robot. Let's continue from mastering methods. The mastering methods that can be used for a robot depend on the type of gauge cartridge with which it is equipped. The types differ visually in terms of the size of their protective caps. Gauge cartridge for EMD, electronic mastering device, protective cap with fine thread M20. Mastering with the EMD. Mastering with the dial gauge, refreshing mastering. In the case of robots with EMD gauge cartridges, reference mastering is only used for mastering after certain maintenance work. Gauge cartridge for MEMD, micro electronic mastering device, protective cap with fine thread M8. For A1 to A5, mastering with the MEMD. For A6, mastering to the mark. Next is moving axis to the pre-mastering position. Description: the axis must be moved to the pre-mastering position before every mastering operation. To do so, each axis is moved so that the mastering marks line up. The following figure shows where on the robot the mastering marks are situated. Depending on the specific robot model, the positions may deviate slightly from those illustrated. Precondition: the jog mode jog keys is active. Operating mode T1. Notice: if A4 and A6 are moved to the pre-mastering position, ensure that the energy supply system, if present, is in its correct position and not rotated through 360 degree. Robots that are mastered with the MEMD have no pre-mastering position for A6. Only A1 to A5 have to be moved to the pre-mastering position. Procedure: select axes are the coordinate system for jog keys. Hold down the enabling switch. Axes A1 to A6 are displayed next to the jog keys. Press the plus or minus jog key to move an axis in the positive or negative direction. Move each axis starting from A1 and working upwards so that the mastering marks line up. Next is mastering with the EMD. Overview: in the EMD mastering, the axis is automatically moved by the robot controller to the mastering position. Mastering is carried out first without and then with a load. It is possible to save mastering data for different loads. Step 1. First mastering. First mastering with EMD. First mastering is carried out without a load. Second, teach offset. Teach offset is carried out with a load. The difference from the first mastering is saved. Third, if required, master load with offset. Load mastering with offset is carried out with a load for which an offset has already been taught. Area of application: checking first mastering, restoring first mastering if it has been lost. Since an offset that has been taught is retained, even if mastering is lost, the robot controller can calculate the first mastering. Next is first mastering with EMD. Precondition: there is no load on the robot. There is no tool, workpiece or supplementary load mounted. All axes are in the pre-mastering position. No program is selected. Operating mode T1. Procedure: notice: the EMD must always be screwed onto the gauge cartridge without the signal cable attached. Only then may the signal cable be attached to the EMD, otherwise the signal cable could be damaged. Similarly, when removing the EMD, the signal cable must always be moved from the EMD first. Only then may the EMD be removed from the gauge cartridge. After mastering, remove the signal cable from connection X32. Failure to do so may result in interference signals or damage. Select Startup, Master, EMD with load correction. First mastering in the main menu. A window opens. All axes to be mastered are displayed. The axis with the lowest number is highlighted. Remove the cover from connection X32. Fourth, remove the protective cap of the gauge cartridge on the axis highlighted in the window. Turn around the EMD can used as a screwdriver. Screw the EMD onto the gauge cartridge. Attach the signal cable to the EMD, aligning the red dot on the connector with the groove in the EMD. Press master. Press an enabling switch and the start key. When the EMD has passed through a reference notch, the mastering position is calculated. The robot stops automatically. The values are saved. The axis is no longer displayed in the window. Remove the signal cable from the EMD. Then remove the EMD from the gauge cartridge and replace the protective cap. Repeat steps 4 to 9 for all access to the mastered. Close the window. Remove signal cable from connection X32. That's it for today's video. In the next video, we'll continue from teach offset with EMD.